Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lima, Ohio, the home of the world-famous Limaland Motorsports Park and the site of round number 5 of the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series Drivers World Championship Series here on iRacing.com. My name is Chase Rodman, joined tonight by Justin Prince. Justin, it's been a fantastic season so far. We've got the top 4 drivers separated by less than 13 points. We've had 4 different winners and 4 racers, and tonight, with how many contenders we've seen so far these last couple races, I could see us making it 5 for 5.
Absolutely, tonight's going to be an absolutely wild race, especially at such a bull-ring of a circuit. Just a quarter-mile circuit for tonight's action, and many drivers have already discussed that it could be difficult to try and make moves tonight. You also have to be getting ready for change. Changing lanes, changing conditions, and changing scenarios right around you tonight. A lot could happen this evening to finish off the first half of the season.
Yeah, things happen so fast here at the Limaland Motorsports Park. We've had 4 different winners, as I mentioned there at the start of the show. We've had Alex Bergeron pick up a win, James Edens won, and we've had 2 drivers pick up their very first series victories. Last week, Braden Dialer, in one of the wildest races I've ever seen here from Knoxville Raceway, picked up his first series win, and Dylan Selman grabbed the win at Fairbury American Legion Speedway. So as we mentioned, we've got 13 points separating the top 4 drivers, and then maybe 10 or so points more than that. We've got 2 or 3 more guys that are in this points battle there, Justin. This could be one of the closest championship battles we've ever had in the Sprint Car Series. Usually it's either dominated by one guy. First year it was Tim Ryan. Last year, Alex Bergeron dominated this series. As we take a look at the championship standings right now there, Justin, I'm not sure if that's quite right because Blake Cannon, that actually is not the correct standings. It's Bergeron, Tucker, Hilemon, Edens, and Merriman. But nonetheless here, Justin, this battle is really, really shaping up here.
Yeah, absolutely. Specifically, Bergeron, remember, had bad luck in the last round where he was one of the fastest drivers in the final 5 laps. Then technical issues happened. His points lead shrunk down to 9. Was talking with him a little bit before tonight's race, Chase, and that is now led to more of a focus on just having a balanced car, a clean car, and finishing the race tonight with how tight things are with Kendall Tucker, David Hilemon, and James Edens within that 13-point cushion for tonight.
Here's the event format for tonight's event here at Limaland Motorsports Park. Heat races. We'll have 4 heat races, 10 laps in distance. The top 4 in each heat race will move on to the feature event. Then we'll have 2 last chance showdowns or consolation races, 12 laps in distance, and the top 2 out of each of those will make up the 20-car field for 35 laps here at Limaland. And last year during this race, it was an absolute barn burner in the heat races especially, Justin. I don't know if you went back and watched any of the races from last year, but this place, in my opinion, puts on some of the best heat racing action we see at any track that we go to throughout this 10-race series, and I'm expecting that here tonight as well.
Absolutely, because yes, it's a bull ring type of racetrack, but drivers like Bergeron hit upon that. It's not too small, but it's not too long either. When you get into the corners, you can gain some momentum and plan your next moves across the racetrack, but because of how short the distance is, everything happens so fast. And many drivers are focused on one thing, especially with those heat races and the importance to lock yourself in the feature. Every race is a new fight, and you need to be consistent. Consistency at this small of a racetrack could be very difficult with how many drivers are around you.
Justin, look at the qualifying rundown right now. James Edens is at the top of the speed charts. Then it goes down to Braden Dialer, last week's winner, Joel Berkeley, Sean Timmerman, Alex Bergeron back in 5th, and Cole Newhofen in 6th. And you know why I went down to 6th? Because each of those spots get points in qualifying towards the championship. James Edens just scored himself 6th, then it goes down to 5, 4, 3, 2. So Edens just closed that gap on Bergeron just a little bit more here before we even head into the heat races for tonight's round number 5 of this World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series Drivers World Championship. Justin, here's how they'll line up for heat race number 1. James Edens will be on the pole alongside him, Alex Bergeron, the 2 guys battling it out for the championship. Cameron Merriman and Kendall Tucker in row number 2. Row number 3, you'll see the 25 of Tyler Ducharme and the 4 of James Tiernan. Row number 4, you'll see it appears to be the the 79 car of Billy Rowley, and the 10 of Skylar Brown, and rounding out the field, the 23 of Justin Thomas. So we've got 4 guys, Justin, inside the top 5 in points in this heat race. Edens, Bergeron, Merriman, and Tucker. This should be a dogfight.
Absolutely, especially with such a dogfight type of racetrack. There's a reason they call this Northwest Ohio's quarter mile of thunder. And these drivers are looking to strike lightning and make their engines roar like thunder to lock themselves into the main quickly tonight. Everything's going to happen so quickly, remember, at this racetrack. The times in qualifying range from the 11 flats at the top of the board to the back end of the heat, seen 11.5, just half a second separating the top qualifiers for the bottom of the pylon.
Yeah, it's incredible how competitive this series has gotten here since last year. Obviously, last year with the late model series, we had 8 winners, I think 7 or 8 winners in 10 races. This year, this sprint car series has definitely gained a lot of new faces and a lot of guys that are capable of winning races, as we've already seen with 4 different winners in the first 4 races. And here we go. The pace car will pull off. The first heat race of the night will be underway for round number 5 of this 10-race series. Pace cars into the infield. The field in the hands of James Edens, Alex Bergeron. Who's going to win heat race number 5? Heat race number 1. We'll find out here in just 10 short laps. Justin, we're green.
And already, Alex Bergeron up to the cushion. He's led every single lap he's ran here. That's going to change. Hit the back end of James Edens. Edens takes the first lap lead as 3 drivers get tangled on the bottom.
And that's a good point there, Justin. Alex Bergeron in 3 races here at Limaland Motorsports Park. He led every lap in his heat races, every single lap of the feature. That's not going to happen here tonight as he's chasing down the 52 car James Edens.
Bergeron again, though, carrying some good momentum behind them. Merriman trying to fall alongside. Bergeron using the cushion, trying to get the run at the flag stand. Coming up to 6 laps to go this time by. Once again, up the high side goes Edens, stops the momentum of Bergeron, and they continue to shuffle as everyone's now up to the top of the cushion.
And the 52 of Edens realized the 12 of Bergeron was making up ground on him. He now runs the cushion on both ends of the speedway here. Here comes Bergeron with a slide job down into the corner across the nose of Edens. Edens turns it back down to the inside. He'll reclaim the lead. He can get the turn on 1. This is the stuff I'm talking about right here. Justin, sliders already here in the first heat race.
And the middle line was talked about by a couple drivers to come in, especially as the track gets more worn. Bergeron, though, sends it all the way from the bottom up to the top side. Here comes Edens with the run once again. He puts the slider back as Bergeron taps the outside fence. Merriman now fights for second position, 3 to go.
Cameron Merriman up the racetrack. He's got second momentarily. Bergeron back to the inside. Every spot here in these heat races is crucial, Justin. You lose 1 spot, you're losing 2 or 3 rows in the feature. And Bergeron slips back to 3rd, and here comes Kendall Tucker now, putting pressure on him as they come to the white flag this time by.
All 4 drivers on the transfer spots in prime positions. White flag is out for heat race number 1. Everyone alongside the cushion. Will Bergeron try and go for one more position, or Merriman try and go for the lead? Edens goes for the defense, while Merriman hits the wall. Bergeron comes home in second, while Edens wins heat race number 1.
And a huge mistake right there from the 17 of Merriman. I did not see what happened. It looked like he just hit the wall with the right rear. Car kind of, got sucked into the wall. He goes from 2nd to 4th in a quarter of a lap right there. So a tough break there for Cameron Merriman. Nonetheless, though, he is still in the feature event, but it hands Alex Bergeron the 2nd spot. Heat race number 2 is getting graded up now. On the pole of this one, it's going to be last week's feature winner at the Knoxville Raceway, Braden Dialer. And on the outside of him, Cole Newhoffen, who's looking to make his first feature of the season. Row 2 inside, the 71 of Cole Cabry, and the 2 car of Dylan Hauser works to his outside. Row 3 on the inside, it's the number 3 of Lewis Hewitt, and outside of him, it's the number 74 car of Adam Elby. Row number 4 inside, the 35 car is Nick Cooper, and outside of Cooper, the 91 of Anthony Job. And on the inside of the final row, the 81 car of Dylan Semmelman, who did not get a good qualifying lap in here tonight, Justin. He was the winner at Fairbury American Legion Speedway 2 weeks ago, a track that is a lot similar to Limaland here tonight, so kind of surprising to see that 81 car at the back of the field here for this heat race.
As a matter of fact, he didn't even get the chance to put in a time. The only driver not to put in an official time in qualifying, Chase. And when I talked to him last week in preparation for the race in Knoxville, he mentioned that the bull reins were more of his driver's preference. Going to be interesting to see if he can find his way up towards the front. Remember, there was some bad luck for the Settlemans in their heat races last week at Knoxville.
Yeah, there definitely was, but there was some good luck the week before that. As I mentioned, at Fairbury, Dylan won, and Austin, his brother, actually ended up second. It was a 1-2 for the Hilemon brothers back at the Fairbury American Legion Speedway. But how about Cole Newhoffman here? Turns in a great qualifying lap, Justin. He's ran 4 of these races so far this season, has not qualified for the A-Main in any of them, so he's looking to have a big turnaround here tonight. But the story, the guy that everybody's been talking about the last week or so, is the 5 of Braden Dialer, the young driver from Pennsylvania, picked up a win at Knoxville last week, and he's looking to start up front in the feature tonight as he leads the field to green in heat race number 2.
We're elects to go to the bottom side early, but Newhoffman elected to go to the middle of the top line. Newhoffman looking to impress for his brand new sponsor tonight. He battles up on the top side. First lap, led by inches by Eilers. They stay side by side.
Eiler's going to have to get back to the top of the racetrack, it looks like, Justin. Everybody's lined up on the top behind him. Newhoffman, Hauser, and Cabry. Now Hauser gets the wall as Newhoffman takes the race lead away from Eiler. Here comes Lewis Hewitt now. Hewitt underneath of Cabry for 4th.
Still fighting in multiple points of the field. Eiler still trying to fight for the lead, while the bubble spot continues to be contested, as talked about. Cole Cabry currently holding on to 4th position. Lewis Hewitt trying to get himself into the show as there's the slide. Newhoffman to the point.
Now Eiler's going to have to return the favor. He drives it in deep into 1 and 2, gets up the racetrack, not in time though. Cole Newhoffman drives back around on the outside. Now Newhoffman to the middle of the track in 3 and 4. That's going to give the 2 Hauser a run. He gets into the side of Eiler. No harm, no foul, but Hauser looks to be the car to beat here in this heat race as he's all over Cole Newhoffman down the back stretch.
Given it 4 laps to go in heat race number 2, the middle line becoming the preferred line as to be expected tonight. Eiler still prefers the bottom side along the berm. Tries to slide up.
Man, he almost took the race lead away right there, Justin, as Hauser's looking to make it 3 wide down the front straightaway. 2 laps to go in this one. Hauser up the racetrack, nearly gets into, he does. They make contact, he's going to get away from him. He'll slide it down into the corner. What a series of events for Dylan Hauser, but Eiler turns it back down to the inside to retake the lead.
As that's gone on though, Cole Cabry hit the outside wall in turn 1 and 2. Now Adam Elby is in the final transfer spot, coming to the white flag as they continue to fight for the lead, coming to the final lap.
Oh man, Hauser hit the wall, but the race for the lead is not over yet. They work into 3 and 4 for the final time. Newhoffman down low, Eiler up top. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Braden Dialer will get the win in heat race number 2, followed by Cole Newhoffman, Dylan Hauser. And as you mentioned there, Justin, Adam Elby will take advantage of a mistake from his teammate Cole Cabry, and he will come home in the 4th and final transfer spot. Behind him, it was Lewis Hewitt in the 5th spot, then Dylan Hilemon, Cole Cabry, Nick Cooper, and Anthony Job rounds out the 9-car field there. The top 4 drivers once again moving into the feature. Heat race number 3 is getting gridded up now, and on the pole this one, it's going to be a couple of teammates here on the front row, the Slick Simsport guys, with Joel Berkeley on the front row alongside David Hilemon, the Hilemaniac in the 49. Row 2 is Tyler Schell and Logan Clampett. Third row, you'll see John Batista and Alex Smolders in the 3rd row. Row number 4, your final row in this one, is the 80 of Vinny Sansone and the 421, of Britton Roxbury, who's also looking to make his first feature tonight. He's got a lot of work to do if he wants to accomplish that tonight here in heat race number 3.
And as we've seen, track positions became, especially with the way the cushion is already developed here at this racetrack. 16 degrees of banking here at this dirt track, 8 degrees of banking down the straightaways, and everyone's been using that banking to their advantage. And it's led to, as you said, lots of great battles. But remember, it's been important for a lot of these drivers to aim for good qualifying position. We've seen the examples already. Drivers like Berkeley said himself, he was aiming for a top-end qualifying and a front row start for the heats. He got his wish.
He definitely got his wish here tonight, and he's hoping to hang on to that spot because he's got his teammate, a fierce competitor to his outside. The Wicked Energy Gum 49 of David Hilemon is going to be a tough guy to beat here at the Limaland Motorsports Park as we are looking for the green this time by. The field going to be in the hands of Berkeley and Hilemon, Tyler Schell, and Logan Clampett on the 2nd row. There goes that pace truck to the infield, and Joel Berkeley's on the gas, and we're green.
Good start for all the drivers already. Hilemon up to the cushion, so is Clampett, so is Smolders, but a big-time slide from the bottom. Schell already looking to take the race lead along the bottom of the berm against the white tires. He'll lead it at the stripe.
Wow, Tyler Schell has rolling some hot bottom right now there, Justin. He's going to take the race lead. Almost contact between him and Joel Berkeley. Give the race lead to the 85 of Schell, who's found a groove that nobody else has found so far throughout these heat races as Berkeley works back to his outside.
Berkeley preferring the cushion as Shell tries to continue to ride right along the bottom side, trying to avoid those white tires. Coming now to 6 laps to go this time by. Fastest lap of the race so far, set by Shell. Finally gets clear as he's in 3 and 4 again.
Hilemon currently runs in third. Behind him is a great battle for the final transfer between John Batista, Alex Smolders, and the 80 car of Vinny Sansone. Hard to take our eyes off the race for the lead, though. Shell way down on the bottom. Berkeley right there up against the concrete at the line. Berkeley will lead that lap. The lap prior to that, it was Shell that keeps swapping it back and forth, Justin.
Back and forth they go like a pendulum swing. This time, Shell, bad rotation on the bottom, had to let off the gas. This time, still elects to stay along the white tires. Just grazes the bottom of one of them. He nearly spins around as he straightens it back up, still holds on to second as he moves to the middle.
You got to be really, really careful about those infield tires here at Limaland Motorsports Park. They might look small, but they can cost you a race in a hurry. As a pass for the third spot. John Batista gets by the 49 of David Hilemon. Hilemon works back to the bottom. Batista up on the top side. It's going to be Batista with the position at the line. 2 laps to go that time, and Berkeley's pulled out to a big lead now, 1.3 second advantage.
Berkeley in full control, coming to the white flag this time by, but the focus stays on the battle for the bubble spot. Berkeley continues to pull away to 2 seconds. Batista hits the back of the multiple drivers side by side for second as Shell hits the wall.
Here comes Vinny Sansone trying to get by these guys off the final corner. They're going to wreck across the line for second, and it's going to go to, I believe, David Hilemon. And the final 20 feet of that one will get the transfer over John Batista. And early race leader Tyler Shell falls back to 4th. He will transfer along with Batista, Hilemon, and Berkeley. Behind those guys, Vinny Sansone, Alex Smolders, Britton Roxbury, and Logan Clampett rounds out the field. Those bottom 4 guys will head off to tonight's last chance showdown in the 2 B main events, where we'll take the top 2 out of that. But we've got one more heat race left to run. And on the pole, this one, the 24 car, that is Sean Timmerman. Outside of him, the 18 of Austin Selman. Row number 2 on the inside, Blake Cannon in the 44. And outside of him, it's his teammate. How about 2 rows of teammates right there, rows 2 and 3. Chase Cabre on the outside of the second row. Colton Hardy inside row 3. And Rusty Krieger on the outside of row number 3. Your final row should see Mike Keegan in the 92X, and the 15 car of Zach Novak will round out the field. And tonight, Justin, Blake Cannon looking for a big turnaround after being pretty high up in the championship standings after week 2. Had some problems back at Fairbury, had some problems last week at Knoxville. The 44 Cannon's looking for a good run here.
Yeah, right after that race, he sent me a message actually through Facebook and said, and I quote, "I told you it was important to make the feature," with a laughing emoji. So he's in a situation where, yes, he's going to want to make that again tonight. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can hold on, especially with so many fast drivers battling for a transfer spot in this heat.
And we saw some people maybe commenting on Facebook asking, who are these guys? Well, these are the top 35 sim racers on the iRacing.com simulation. They have qualified into this series, and they are racing for a $10,000 purse in the championship. First place gets $25,000 purse. As we go green here, we'll talk about that later, as Timmerman and Selman will lead the field down into the first corner.
Timmerman with the new look for tonight tries to slide up to the top, able to cut off Austin Selman. Selman tries to go for the crossover back as the Canoe fight for the race lead. Joined with them is Blake Cannon as they've ran away from the Hornet's Nest.
They sure have. In the 15 car of Zach Novak, he started dead last in this thing. He's battling with Chase Cabre down in the turn number 3. They make contact, and now we are 3 wide for the race lead up front. Blake Cannon down low, Austin Selman in the middle, and Timmerman up on the top side. This is what we came for right here, Justin. This is fantastic.
Cannon electing to ride along the berm. Austin Selman, though, much better in the middle line, able to get clear, leads at the stripe, that time by about a 1/10 of a second. Timmerman still electing to stay on the cushion, coming to 6 laps to go, as the fight for the transfer spot heats up between Chase Cabre and Zach Novak.
Yeah, Zach Novak is side by side with Cabre down into the first corner. Cabre rubs the right rear off the wall. 15 car Novak has the advantage getting into the third corner. The 15 and Novak might have it off turn number 4. Cabre back to the outside, but at the stripe, the 15 and Novak's got the final transfer spot.
Novak trying to use that middle line to his advantage. Cabre clips the top of the wall, just a little touch down the back. Novak with better speed on the bottom. Cabre gets the drag back. Novak gets the bubble spot at the stripe. They continue to fight for 4th, while they're still 2 to 3 wide for the lead.
They have been 3 wide on multiple occasions here for the race lead. Sean Timmerman now back out front, but here comes the 44, Blake Cannon, a winner with the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings late model series here at the Limaland Motorsports Park last year. He is no stranger to this quarter mile here in Lima, Ohio. The 44 of Cannon looking to take this win away as Timmerman powers away down the backstretch with the lead.
Coming to the white flag this time by Cannon, still now using the middle to bottom line. Drag race at the stripe to the white flag. Timmerman gets the lead lap. Slide up the track. Cannon tries to cut off Timmerman.
Oh my, down into 3 and 4 for the final time. Oh, Cannon's going to spin out off an infield tire, and it is going to cost him huge as he slips back to the 5th spot, 1 out of a transfer. But I talked about it earlier, Justin. Those infield tires can cost you a race, and it sure as heck did it right there to Blake Cannon as he slips from 2nd to 5th in the last 200 feet of that race right there. Sean Timmerman ends up with the win. Then Austin Semmelman, Chase Cabry, Zach Novak from dead last. He ends up in the final transfer. Then Cannon, Keegan, Kruger, and Hardy. But a tough break there for Blake Cannon, who is looking to lock himself into the feature there, Justin.
Yeah, absolutely. That shows the importance of making sure you don't make a mistake, especially with how quick the laps are. But everyone now gets ready for the first of the LCQs as you look at the grid on your screen.
Yep, Tyler Ducharme's going to be on the pole. The 25 car outside of him is the 80 of Vinny Sansone. Row 2, the 10 car, Skylar Brown. And outside of him is the 211 of Alex Smolders. Row 3, James Tiernan in the number 4 car. And outside of him is Britton Roxbury in the 421. Row number 4 should be the 79 of Billy Rowley and the 99 of Logan Clampett. And final starter looks like the 23 car for Mode Motorsports. That's Justin Thomas. So a little bit different here in the C-Main, or the Last Chance Showdown, I should say there, Justin. 12 laps of distance, and only the top 2 will move into this feature event. Just the top 2. So you got to be up towards the front of the field if you want to transfer out of this one. So guys like Roxbury, Rowley, and Clampett, they've got some work to do here.
Absolutely. I think there's some good drivers here who showed a lot of good speed in their heat races, just couldn't get the passes done or keep the track position. Going to be very vital, especially with how close a lot of these competitors are in times. Green flag.
Green flag is out, and Ducharme will jump out with the early race lead. Skylar Brown on the inside of Vinny Sansone for P2. Brown on the bottom, Sansone up in the middle of the racetrack. They're side by side into turns 3 and 4, followed by the 4 of James Tiernan, who's making a 3-car race for second.
Still fighting hard right behind them. Brown puts someone into the wall. 3-4 drivers wreck at the back of the field. No cautions in these LCQs as the rest of the field settles down.
Yep, and Skylar Brown's able to escape with the 3rd spot, but Vinny Sansone still has P2. Meanwhile, those guys are behind the 25 of Tyler Ducharme. 4th is Billy Rowley. He just hit the wall. There goes the 99 of Logan Clampett to his inside. Clampett's got 4th. And he's got a lot of ground to make up here on your top 3 as they are racing hard for the race lead.
Yes, absolutely. Ducharme and Sansone continue to fight for the lead while they continue to scrap in multiple parts of the racetrack. Ducharme electing to take the middle, lower line for Sansone as they make their way through turns 3 and 4 once again. Both elect to slide around the slick stuff on the bottom side. Brown tries to follow suit closer to the tires, coming to 7 to go.
And Skylar Brown is hoping for a big mistake out of Sansone or Ducharme. They are racing really hard for this race lead right now. Sansone definitely does not want to be on the bubble spot. Nobody does, because you can get knocked right out of the way and lose that spot immediately, very quickly. And there goes Sansone to the race lead as Ducharme hit the back straightaway wall. Vinny Sansone, your new leader here in the first LCQ.
Sansone continues to try and make sure he doesn't stay the bubble boy, because what happens when you're the bubble boy? The bubble potentially can pop. Ducharme elects to try and take the cushion. He wants the lead back in the last chance race. They pulled away now by 0.7 of a second from Skylar Brown.
Yeah, Brown's still putting up good lap times. He's comparable to the top 2 drivers. He's only going to have 3 laps to go this time by the stripe, so he's got to hope for maybe some contact between those two or just run some better laps that time by. Brown with a 12.156 in front of him, a 12.283 for your race leader, Vinny Sansone. So Skylar Brown and Logan Clampett both tracking down the top 2 with 2 laps to go.
The question's going to be, will there be a mistake between the top 2 drivers? Ducharme still elects to take the cushion. Bottom side for Sansone. He tries to slide, coming to the white flag this time by, as Clampett tries to make a slide to the backdrop.
Yep, they're racing hard for third, but it's not for the right spot. You got to be in the top two to transfer on, and they're going to be too far behind. It's going to be Vinny Sansone and Tyler Ducharme, a drag race to the line. It's going to be Ducharme with the LCQ #1 win over Vinny Sansone, and those two drivers will move on to tonight's 35-lap main event at the Limaland Motorsports Park. Here's how the rest of the finishing order looks, and it's going to be obviously Ducharme and Sansone, then Skylar Brown third, Logan Clamp at fourth, Billy Rowley fifth, Justin Thomas, Alex Smolders, James Tiernan, and Britton Roxbury rounds out the 9-car field there in the first LCQ. Second LCQ is getting already gridded up on the racetrack, and here's how they'll line up. It's the 3 of Lewis Hewitt on the pole. Next to him is the 44 Blake Cannon. Row 2, 81 Dylan Semmelman, and outside of him the 92 X-car of Mike Keegan. Third row is Cole Cabry and the 55 of Rusty Kruger. And then your final 3 starters should be, it looks like Colton Hardy, Anthony Job, and Nick Cooper. So a 9-car field once again here, but some heavy hitters in the first 2 rows with Hewitt, Cannon, and Semmelman. And Mike Keegan, he's shown some speed here at certain times throughout this championship. He's really good on the bull rings. He's from Ohio. He's actually from Ohio here, Justin. Mike Keegan is. So I'm not sure if he's raced here in real life or not, but Keegan might have the hometown advantage here.
Yeah, there were actually a lot of fans who follow this racetrack in real life who were following along a lot on Twitter. They were extremely excited about this race tonight and following along on social media. Hopefully a lot of those fans are watching tonight's broadcast action. But you mentioned some of the highly competitive drivers. Remember, Cole Cabry, he was in a transfer spot, made a mistake, fell back 3 positions in 2 laps. Keegan, one of the quickest drivers in final open practice. Dylan Settleman ended up having to start at the back. Blake Cannon, 1 mistake, hit a tire. So in other words, make sure you don't do what you did in your heats and you're in good shape.
Yeah, these guys really got to clean up their act if they want to transfer out of this final LCQ. The final 2 spots in tonight's feature event about to be decided. We're already 3 wide for the race leads. Lewis Hewitt up top, Cannon in the middle, and Dylan Selman on the bottom. Selman's got second. He might have the race lead off turn number 4, the 81 car. Now Cannon back to the middle.
Cannon wants to try and get himself into the main show. 3 wide for the race lead coming off turn 2. Dylan Selman gets the best one. He gets clear. Slide behind. Cannon hits the tires. Multiple others follow the tires as well, but Dylan Selman able to take the race lead of the stripe.
Selman rolling some hot bottom right now, and the 81 car takes the race lead away from the 3 car of Lewis Hewitt. Behind them, it's a 4-car scrap for third between the 44 Cannon, the 35 of Cooper, the 92 of Keegan, and the 71 of Cole Cabry. Who's that on the bottom? The 35 of Nick Cooper's coming to life.
And Nick Cooper wants to try and get himself in the show. He's nearly hit the tires multiple times in the dirt racing machine. He wheels his way right against those white tires as Cannon's around in the middle of turn 2.
Oh man, Blake Cannon goes around. That's going to take him surely out of contention for this one as Nick Cooper continues to try and work the bottom of the racetrack here at Limaland Motorsports Park. The 35 is losing ground now to the 81 of Selman. He might need to change up the line here, Justin, or he's going to fall way behind these top 2.
Yeah, it's starting to dry out a little bit on the bottom of the racetrack. Everybody else has proved that the cushion very strong tonight here at Limaland. Settleman is now pulled away by an extra 2-car lengths off the front back straightaway, gains an extra 2 in the front.
Yep, Dylan Selman is definitely tracking down Lewis Hewitt. We'll see if they race hard for the race lead. They do have a pretty sizable gap, almost a second back to Nick Cooper. No need to race hard here, but every spot counts, obviously, for the feature event lineup. Selman all over Hewitt down the back straightaway. Will we see a move by the end of this thing? I don't think we will, but who knows? These guys, they are hungry for as many spots as they can get here, Justin, with 2 laps to go.
Absolutely. Dylan Settleman with a good run coming off turn 2. Back straightaway once again. Everyone electing to get as close as they can to the outside wall. Settleman good on apex off. White flag next time by. He wants the lead. He slides to the bottom. Tries to slide up. Hewitt able to defend.
Hewitt with a great defend right there. The 81 of Selman will try the middle of the racetrack. Once again, good bite down there. He'll lead at the stripe. White flags in the air for the 81 of Selman. The 3-car of Hewitt looks back down to the outside. Down the back straightaway, the 81 will clear him. And into 3 and 4, a pass coming to the white flag will prove beneficial. Dylan Selman will get the win in the final LCQ of the night, followed by Lewis Hewitt, Nick Cooper, Mike Keegan, Cole Cabry, Rusty Kruger, Colton Hardy, Anthony Job, and Blake Cannon will round out the field. And just like that, the field is set, 20 drivers strong, 35 laps. And there you can see the results of that final LCQ. Justin, this track is shaping up nice. We'll see what the iRacing officials do to it, see if they prep it at all, but right now it's in pretty good shape, I think.
It absolutely is being prepped, in fact, with how small this track is and how fast the lap lines can be here. These drivers will have 5 minutes to work its way back in, but I think it's shown so far tonight that the grooves change lap after lap. Yes, you have consistent lines where you might want to be, but remember, Kendall Tucker said it best when I think he said it's elbows up all night long, and trying to keep it on the fence is important because it can jump on and bite you. Guess what? In multiple conditions, it jumped out and cost some people transfer spots in the heats in the last chance qualifiers.
It sure did. This place is just so treacherous as these drivers get their final laps here on the surface, ready for 35 laps, getting their final adjustments made in this warm-up session. We will be right back here for round number 5 of the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series Drivers World Championship here from Limaland Motorsports Park.
Coming up to the line, being chased, and it was Braden Johnson. Unbelievable finish. It was 1/1000th of a second between them.
Green flag in the air. We are racing in the 2020 24 Hours of Daytona.
They go toe to toe for the feature race lead here on the last lap of the race. Side by side for the race lead in the final corner at Homestead.
Down the back straightaway, 3 wide again for the race lead. This is unbelievable stuff here tonight.
Loma is going to have to be very deep on the brakes, and he is very deep on the brakes. It's side by side through the corner. This is for the win.
It'll be side by side. Davies low, Ottinger high. To the very inside is Garrett low. 4 wide at the stripe. For all his work here on this outside line, neck and neck. Who's going to back out? Does anyone back out? Verstappen starts to squeeze on the inside, and now he'll try and straight line it. Goes under the apron, drag race to the line. It's so close to call.
All right, we are back here at Limaland Motorsports Park here in Lima, Ohio, just about ready for feature action for round number 5 of the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series Drivers World Championship. And Justin, we talked about the prizes of this event earlier. Didn't really get through all of them, but a $25,000 purse at the end of this 10-race championship, with $10,000 going to the champion, $5,000 for second, and I believe it's either $2,000 or $3,000 for third. Plus, the winner gets a ride in a real-life sprint car at the Charlotte Motor Speedway dirt track. A fantastic, bundle of prizes for this whole deal. And last year was Alex Bergeron getting the chance to go to the Charlotte Motor Speedway dirt track. Got coached by Christopher Bell on how to drive a sprint car, and it was really cool. So a lot of stuff on the line for these guys.
Absolutely. Remember, there is race feature purses each and every week for coming away with victories. $300 US for the winner. Second place, $200. Third place, $100. So it all adds up to try and develop not just your personal savings, of course, but your real-world racing career and aspirations, which is a major key a lot of these drivers like to do, since many of them are real-world crew members and or real-world racers in the dirt too.
Yeah, there sure is a lot of crew members, that's for sure, that run in this Pro Series, along with the guys that just race regular dirt on iRacing. There's a lot of crew guys that didn't really get a shot at getting to drive in real life, and here they are getting to do at least some kind of driving here. They're driving in real life in their house, but obviously on a computer in the virtual world. But I think we're just about ready for this 20-car starting lineup for 35 laps. Ladies and gentlemen, we're looking for the 5th different winner in 5 races to open up this series. Can it happen here tonight? As we take a look at the starting grid, James Edens will be on the pole alongside Braden Dialer, last week's feature winner from Knoxville. Row number 2 on the inside, a guy that's looking for big redemption after this race last year where he nearly stole the victory, the 9 of Joel Berkeley. Row 2 on the outside, the 24 of Sean Timmerman. And row number 3 on the inside, it's the defending series champion, Alex Bergeron. Outside him, making his first start of the season, the 11 of Cole Newhalfen. And then we go back to row number 4. It'll be David Hilemon, the Hilemaniac, starting 7th. And outside of him, the 18 car of Austin Semmelman. Row 5 inside, 9th starter, the 00 of Kendall Tucker. And outside Tucker, the 2 of Dylan Hauser. Row 6 inside, 54 of John Batista. And starting 12th, the 39 of Chase Cabry. Row number 7, 13th starter tonight. It's the 17 of Cameron Merriman. And outside of Merriman, the 74 of Adam Elby. Row 8 inside, 15th starter, 85 car Tyler Schell, and the 15 of Zach Novak. Row 9, 25 of Tyler Ducharme, and the 81 of Dylan Semmelman. 10th and final row for tonight's 35-lap main event, the 80 car of Vinny Sansone, and the 3 of Lewis Hewitt. So an all-star cast here tonight, Justin. 20 of the best dirt sim racers in the entire iRacing.com service, and this is going to be a great show here.
Absolutely. Should be some great action tonight. It's going to be curious to see what happens in the Hornets' Nest as well, especially with how hard some of these drivers are going to be fighting tonight. But remember, we already seen throughout the heats in the LCQs that the middle line came in very quickly. The cushion, the best line early on. Expect that to be the same. And remember, you can't go 100% throttle every quarter because of the size of the racetrack. It can be difficult to try and make some of the passes and slide jobs tonight.
Green flag, round number 5 of the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series season is underway, and James Edens will jump out front with the race lead in the 52, followed by Braden Dialer side by side for 3rd between Joel Berkeley, the 24 of Sean Timmerman, and the 12 Alex Bergeron's there as well.
Get your elbows out because it's 3-4 wide in the middle of the Hornets' Nest. Berkeley able to get clear while Timmerman, Bergeron, along with Newhalfen, all 3 wide. Newhalfen tries to slide for the bottom side, can't get clear. Still fighting hard, coming to 32 laps to go. Already completing 3 laps this time by.
4, 5, and 6 lanes of racing, it looks like, being used on the Limaland Motorsports Park. Look at the Hornets' Nest, as Justin said earlier. There are cars all over each other outside the top 5, but a great battle for 3rd between Berkeley, Bergeron, and Newhalfen as they go at it down the front straightaway, still side by side between Newhalfen and Berkeley.
Newhalfen again getting a good run off of turn 2. Drivers have been able to make that diamond line work all night. Elects to ride right against the tires. Everyone up to the cushion, gets clear as Bergeron tries to dive through 2 drivers. Berkeley goes up to the cushion. Bergeron able to defend. Well, Tucker just got hit by Timmerman.
Yeah, it looked like, now Newhalfen gets sideways, hangs onto the race car, gets back going, and there goes Bergeron up to 3rd. He makes it behind the 9 of Berkeley, and here's the 49 of David Hilemon. He started 7th. He's working on the 4th place car of Berkeley on the bottom. The Wicked Energy Gum number 49 car of Hilemon coming to life here midway through this one.
He's looking to try and put in a show in the fight now for 4th position. 2 drivers fight behind. Hilemon trying to recover his positions. Hauser trying to hold on as Elby tries to join the fight. Remember, Elby had to drive through one of the heats and came into a transfer spot late. He's making the bottom line work and following tire for tire and hits Newhalfen.
He gets into the back of Cole Newhalfen right there. Elby started way back in 14th, Justin, and he's about to go by Newhalfen for the 7th spot. So an early mover here in this one, while James Edens has pulled out to a large advantage, 1.3 seconds, the lead for the 52 car of James Edens as he leads over Dialer, Bergeron, and then behind them, David Hilemon and Joel Berkeley.
Everyone putting in consistent lap times, 24 laps to go this time by. Still up towards the front. Edens leads. Dialer is in 2nd. Bergeron, though, quickest driver of the track, while everyone else starts to get into a good rhythm. Very good action so far as the top 3 elect to use the cushion.
Bergeron was faster than James Edens a lap prior, but even faster than Bergeron was the 49, the guy right behind him. David Hilemon turning faster lap times than Alex Bergeron by 0.3 the last time by. So I don't know if James Edens might be saving his stuff here, not really pushing the issue, as he does have a 1.3 second advantage over Braden Dialer or not, but I mean, he is definitely a little bit slower than these guys running 3rd and 4th.
And you have to remember last week, Chase, that some of the drivers talked about this in post-race. Fuel became a concern towards the end of the race. The more green flag laps you run, especially if you try and put in as little fuel as you can, the more drivers who ride this cushion might have a concern. Bergeron elects to go for the slide jump. He wants second.
Slider complete. Eiler turns it back down to the inside, reclaims the second spot, and that battle allows Hilemon into the mix now. He's side by side with Bergeron into the corner. 3 wide for second. In turns 1 and 2, and Bergeron gets shuffled out of the mix. There goes Hilemon to third now. What a move by the Hilemaniac to go for third. Bergeron fighting back on the outside.
The Hilemaniacs losing their minds around the racetrack. 17 laps to go as Hilemon tries to get clear of Eiler, still forced to slide near 3 wide, off in 3 and 4. Tries to give the squeeze, has to let off the gas going into turn number 1. This time cannot get clear of the red machine.
The 12 car of Bergeron trying to make a lane on the bottom work. It is not happening for now. Hilemon and the 12 of Bergeron run in the middle while Eiler works up on the top side. James Edens still with just a 1.3 second lead. And that makes me think maybe, Justin, if Hilemon can get by Eiler, he might have enough car to track down James Edens, as Edens has not been able to pull away from these guys, and they've been battling really, really hard.
Thing is, though, Hilemon lost second position due to mistake off turn 4. He's now got to find a way by Eiler again. Eiler hits the outside wall. Make it a second position pass for Hilemon as he moves up into the top 2. Has to somehow close a second and a half in 13 laps.
If the 49 can get clear of Eiler, I think he has a car to beat James Edens. Great move right there off the 4th corner. And Hilemon, oh, he's into the wall. He's able to regather it in, though. He gathers the car back in, and he has clear track to work with here, Justin. We'll see if he can catch up to the 52 of Edens. As you mentioned, 11 laps to go that time by, and it was James Edens at a 12.600, Hilemon at a 12.585.
David Hilemon said it himself before tonight's race. He wanted to make a statement in beating Alex Bergeron to swing momentum for the second half of the season. He's got part of that goal accomplished. The question's going to be, can he close in on Edens? Was a 1/10 of a second quicker last time by. 10 to go, this time by the flag stand.
And Hilemon has the better car. James Edens knows it right now. He is in trouble. A 12.60 for that, the 52 car that time by, and a 12.52 for Hilemon. He's a 10th better every lap. Justin, he's got the rod and reel out. He is reeling in James Edens right now. David Hilemon looking to win his first race of the season.
Hilemon still electing to use the cushion, more so a middle line for Edens right up in front of them. You see him at the bottom side of your screen. Hilemon, this time by, reduces the gap to 9/10 of a second. Another 10th plus Eden in 2. There's a concern, though, just up the track. Multiple drivers in lap traffic, right about 10 car lengths up, led by Austin Settleman and Sean Timmerman.
Yeah, just a handful of laps to go. About 7 laps to go that last time by the stripe. Now, the gap down to 0.8 of a second, and it's going to be even closer this time by the stripe. It goes down. It is now at 0.7 of a second. Hilemon, right rear on the concrete here at Limaland Motorsports Park, tracking down James Edens, and the yellow comes out. Caution with less than 5 laps to go.
What a time for the caution flag to come out. I think it might have happened towards the Hornet's Nest. They were racing 2 to 3 wide at some points of the racetrack. And now this really changes everything.
And we're really trying to figure out who the caution was for here. As
Berkeley.
Berkeley, Joel Berkeley. Oh, man, unfortunate there for Berkeley as he was having a great run inside the top 5. We'll have to get a iRacing.com replay here. It looks like Berkeley gets into the side of Braden Dialer there, and that's what spins him around, Justin.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep an eye on the exit of turn number 2. He's already in the midst of a great battle going on with drivers like Hauser. Bergeron in the backdrop also sending a similar slide job to what Berkeley did. Keep an eye right here. Eiler had already been passed by Bergeron, and right there, spins him around right in the middle of the racetrack. Caution out.
Justin, how about these drivers? We have ran 2 races. That one almost went green to checkered, and we go yellow for a single car incident. Last week we went caution free at Knoxville, and we're going back to green. A green-white checkered finish for James Edens, trying to become the first repeat winner of 2020.
Is there enough time for Hilemon to make a move, or will Bergeron try and steal it? Coming to the white flag this time. Edens elects to go to the middle. Hilemon trying to eat the cushion as he hits the wall.
He slaps the wall. That's going to give Edens a little bit of ground to work with here as they work down the back straightaway for the final time. Into 3 and 4. Edens has got clear room. And off of turn number 4, first repeat winner 2020, James Edens wins at Limaland Motorsports Park. Alex Bergeron second, David Hilemon in third, and behind him, Braden Dialer and Dylan Hauser round out the top 5. And James Edens, Justin, came into tonight with 79 laps led. That's 22 more than any other driver. He leads all 35 tonight en route to his second victory of the season, and he's going to be sitting really, really good in the championship standings. He actually swept the night, qualified quick time, won the heat race, and leads every lap and wins the feature tonight. What a dominating performance.
Absolutely. What a dominating pace set by Edens. He had a good track record at this circuit and showed exactly that, coming away with a 0.6 of a second victory. Curious to see what happened if it stayed green, but in the end, he had a big enough gap to potentially defend.
Yeah, great point there. I really, really wish we could have seen what happened if they stayed green there. Hilemon was on the move right there. Behind the top 5, it was Cole Newhofen in 6th, Adam Elby 7th, Cameron Merriman in 8th, then Kendall Tucker and Tyler Schell rounding out the top 10. Behind those guys, Berkeley came back to 11th in just 2 laps there. What a drive by him. Chase Cabry was 12th, Zach Novak 13th, Lewis Hewitt, Dylan Semmelman rounds out the top 15. Then we had Tyler Ducharme, Vinny Sansone, John Batista, Austin Selman, and Sean Timmerman rounding out this 20-car field. And Justin, just waiting for our top 3 guys to come into our broadcast booth. And, next week we head off to Lernerville Speedway for the second stop this season for that track. It's the newest track on iRacing. We saw some great racing a couple weeks back there during week number 2, and I'm really excited to get back to Lernerville. But tonight we've got to, obviously got to interview our top 3 finishers, and we've already got one of them in here. James Edens, the winner of tonight's race from Limaland Motorsports Park. James, you came into tonight the most laps led on the season out of anybody, and you absolutely destroyed these guys tonight. Get the broom out because you did the clean sweep, qualifying, heat race, and the feature. There's no better feeling than that.
No, especially after last week, I felt like we gave one away there with not putting enough fuel in. So, I went a gallon or 2 heavy this week just to make sure we were not having to slow up at the end of the race and maybe give one away again. So, a little bit of redemption, but yeah, it feels good. Limaland's definitely a tricky track for me. Normally we don't have that good of success. So,
were you worried there if that that last green flag run? Were you either worried that you got the caution, or were you happy about it? Because it seemed like David was about a 10th or so better than you those last 7-8 laps, and I think that how it was working out, he was probably going to be to your back bumper there towards the white flag.
Yeah, he just got it wound up on the top and was a little better up there. I don't know if it really, obviously didn't hurt us. So, but yeah, it would have been interesting to see what happened there if it stayed green, and then we would have. Well, we might have got to those couple lap cars that were coming up, so that could have thrown a mix in it. But cautions with coming to green with 2 to go is always a scary feeling, and you just gotta make sure you hit your restart right.
And you sure as heck did that, James. I think it's no understatement when I say that I think Alex Bergeron was the guy to be in this championship this season. Did you think at race number 5, obviously the points have not updated, did you think that you would be this close to him after halfway signal through this championship? And there, the points have just updated. You are 9 behind Alex Bergeron heading into next week at Lernerville.
Yeah, it's definitely, he beat us last year by almost a full race at the end of the season, and he really dominated, and then he came out swinging hard at Volusia, and we had a bad night, so to say we've closed that gap back up to under 10 points at halfway is, it's been good. We just gotta keep our momentum up and keep doing what we're doing.
Well, you guys, whatever you're doing, it is working. Who do you got to thank for getting you into the victory lane here tonight?
You gotta thank Speed Lab and Bell Helmets, K1 Race Gear, HMS Motorsport, Racing Electronics, South Bay Partners, all the sponsors on the car that support us and let us have fun. And then big shout out to Woo for putting this on for 3 years. I think I said it before, but it's really starting to take stride, and the racing's been incredible this year, I think. So shout out to them for sticking with us after the first couple of years, and and iRacing and everyone that behind the scenes that makes it happen.
And the racing truly has been insane. We've only had 1 caution in the last 2 races. That was James Edens, your winner tonight from Limaland Motorsports Park. And second spot tonight, That was Alex Bergeron in car number 12. He stood by now with Justin Prince.
Yes, indeed, Alex Bergeron. A very interesting race. First time in this history of the series you didn't lead laps for the most part at Limaland, but a consistent race. That was one of the goals you talked about to me earlier tonight. How do you feel about your goal accomplished to a second place tonight?
Yeah, it was definitely a decent race. We kept, I think, our position in the points lead, the standings, by finishing second. In the heat race, we were very much faster there. I remember drove there in the back straight a little bit, but we overcame that and got second there from fifth. So I think it's a good thing for us for the championship, and I think we just need to look forward for the rest of the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. But I want to also ask you in terms of the racing tonight. It's such a technical track. Some of the drivers discussed coming into tonight. What, in your opinion, made tonight's race more unique than the ones you may have had earlier on in the season to try and adjust to the changing track as the race went on tonight? Nearly went green for a second straight race.
Yeah, the difference from this year's race from the last 2 years. We had the track reset before the race, and then they kind of redone the racetrack completely. So the line, they changed, and it was difficult the first couple laps to try to settle in, and so to be able to finish second there is an accomplishment from what we've seen tonight in the warm up and the start of the race. So I think it's good for us.
Now, next race on the schedule ends up bringing you towards Lernerville, second date of the season for that racetrack. Going to be interesting to see. It's the first time in about 4 weeks or so the series is going to go there. Your thoughts on Lernerville?
That's gonna be tough for sure. Last time we hit there, had the rough qualifying for us, and we did good in the feature. From I think somewhere from 17th to 6th in the feature. So I think it's gonna be great. We just gotta have a bit more qualifying pace. We had that tonight, and I think that's what we need to keep on doing the rest of the season, and hopefully we can get another win here.
Anyone you want to thank before we let you go tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Team ABR Esports with Jason, Rebecca, all of our partners, CSI Shocks, PitLogic app, BK Designs, Smart Ink Farm Equipment, and all the other supporters as well, all the fans out there watching the race tonight, my father as well, cheering on us, and for iRacing World Outlaws for putting the series up and be able to race here is awesome. With all the top guys and you guys for broadcasting, you're doing an awesome job, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you very much for the time, Alex. Congratulations on the second place finish. By the way, you still hold a 9-point lead in the standings. Congrats.
Thank you.
That was Alex Bergeron coming home second tonight. Back over to you, Chase.
Yeah, we've got David Hilemon now in the third spot. David, best run that we've seen so far this season. I thought that you were going to make it 5 winners and 5 races, but unfortunately that yellow came out towards the end, which I don't think you were wanting to see, as you were tracking down James there about a tenth a lap towards the end of the race. What are your thoughts on that? And a solid run for you. We've been waiting to see a good run out of you throughout the season, but haven't really had the greatest of luck. But man, maybe tonight one just kind of slipped away from you.
Yeah, so far for us this season, just finishing top 5 felt like podiums, and yeah, obviously I was catching them before that yellow, but even after it, I think if I just stuck 3 and 4 there, I had a plan for them the last lap, but I'm obviously putting in the fence and then kind of let Alex squeeze around us, but I don't know, it just falls down to being as bad as I was in my heat race, starting back in 7th there. Track was pretty racy though. I was able to pick my way through there and just kept rolling middle, but I don't know, it doesn't matter how many times I might have the fastest car, I'm just not a winner.
Well, 5 races so far this season and 3 top 5s for you. You're still second in the points. This is the closest that you've been to Alex Bergeron in one of these World of Outlaws Championship Series events here in this whole series. You are, 4 plus 11, 15 points behind him. You are still well in the thick of this championship battle.
Yeah, obviously with his him dropping out last week really tightened things back up again, but if you would have told anybody, I think me, Kendall, or James, or Cam, or Braden, whoever's right in the thick of the things, if you would have said we're within 30 points of Alex at the halfway point, I'm sure we'll all take that.
Lernerville next week. Obviously, we saw some great racing there a couple weeks back. Joel Berkeley, your teammate, had a fantastic run. I can't remember where you ended up, but what are the thoughts there heading back to Lernerville? I believe the only track, if I'm not mistaken, that we go to twice on the schedule. So heading back there, you got to be looking forward to that, right?
Yeah, the first time there, I was just raced way too conservative and fell off at the end a little bit. So we're going to have to come in with just a completely different mindset, not playing it as safe as last time, and just run 30 good laps without, going over that cushion.
Well, the Slick Sim Sport number 49 was looking really, really racy tonight. Anybody got to think?
Yeah, like you said, Slick Sim Sport, and then Wicked Energy Gum, Wicked Cushion, JDR Graphics, Down Under Graphics. You guys for putting it on, all the fans cheering me on, and on to the next one.
David Hilemon ends up in the third spot tonight, and in fourth, it's last week's winner from Knoxville, Braden Dialer, with another solid top 5 finish, and Braden now up to fourth in the standings. He stood by with Justin Prince.
Yes, indeed. Coming off his first career victory last week, good momentum builds up now for this week, and a good fight for second, third, and fourth throughout the evening. Braden, how would you describe your night and your performance?
I finished top 5, so I guess that's all I can ask for. I was kind of track got a little slicker, and I would have liked to at the end, and I wasn't really. I don't think I was really great for the late race. So on that green-white checkered, I just kind of figured I'd just roll the bottom and hopefully, just kind of keep up a little momentum down there for 2 laps and hold my spot.
Yeah, I was curious of what happened in those final closing stages with all the battling going around. It seemed at one point, I believe someone actually bounced off you. What happened at that point with the caution flag? I believe it was Berkeley who ended up coming into you at that point.
I was trying to cross over Alex there. He threw a slider on me, and I didn't know Berkeley. I think it was throwing a slide job. I wasn't sure. I was trying to cross Alex and get him back in 3, and we just kind of met in the middle there in turn 2. I didn't really get to go look at it, so I'm not sure what exactly happened there.
Either way, good momentum built up the past couple races. And with how you've done in the past few races, you're now 4th in the championship standings. Second half of the season, though, goes to a track you've been at so far this season, Lernerville. Your thoughts on that track?
This week, Lernerville, I'm gonna, I felt pretty confident getting there last week. Probably gonna make a few changes and revise everything, and hopefully we come back and do a little better and don't make the same mistakes we did the first time.
Indeed. Anyone you want to thank, though, for being a part of your top 5 run tonight?
Yeah, shout out to everybody at Kinzer Sim Team, Water Tire with Cushion Dairies Network, and also shout out to Cole for making his first show and running 6th this season. And thanks everybody for putting this deal on.
Congratulations on the 4th place finish tonight. Well deserved.
Thank you.
That's Braden and I. We're coming home 4th tonight. Back over to you, Chase, once more.
Yeah, we've got Dylan Hauser, which I feel like we robbed him of an interview last week at Knoxville, where we ended up 5th. And this week, Dylan, you get the interview that you need. 5th place run. That's 2 top 5s in a row for you. And it looks like you've got, let's see here, you've got 2 top 5s on the season. So back-to-back top 5s here at Limaland. That was really fun to watch you, man. You're one of the most aggressive guys in this championship series, and I think a lot of guys know it. And it's really fun as an announcer and the person watching these races to watch you get around the racetrack and mix it up with these guys.
Yeah, the first few weeks didn't go quite as planned. A lot of tough luck, but I tried to put on a show like last week, go from 8th to 1st in the heat race. That was exciting, but tonight was good. We qualified decent. We were running for the heat race win there, and just the cars didn't play out. Those guys are playing pretty aggressive up there too, so the cars just didn't play out to get the heat race win. So we settled for 3rd, started 10th, and just started moving our way to the front. And we could have been a little more aggressive in the future, but I had teammates racing for points, and a lot of my teammates were around me, so I was just settling in. Then we were catching Alex and Braden, and then the yellow came out. So that track was fun. I would have liked to seen it stay black slick, but the reset was good, a lot better than I expected. Yeah, so I just got to thank everybody at Slick Sim Sport, and you guys for broadcasting, the World of Outlaws for putting this deal on, iRacing, and yeah, all of our sponsors at Slick Sim Sport, JDR Graphics, Down Under Graphics, Design 75, everybody helps us.
And I got to ask, I mean, this series compared to last year has just become so much more competitive, I feel like. I mean, we've got 4 or 5 guys right now within striking distance of Alex Bergeron for this championship. At this point last year, you could pretty much write the $10,000 check to Bergeron. Right now, no one knows what's going to happen. This championship in 2020 is extremely, extremely competitive, and it's a lot of fun to watch, right? And probably a lot of fun to drive it if you're running good, like you are.
Yeah, it's extremely competitive this year. I wish I was up there, but we just got some unfortunate stuff at the beginning of the season. But I think Alex's longest lose streak in a Pro Series in sprint cars is 3, and it got broke tonight with 4. So them guys that are beating him, they're bringing their A game every week, and it's cool to see some competition because he's pretty much dominated. Even in 2018, he was pretty good. He just had I think his wheel came unplugged and it cost him the championship. So 2018, 2019, he was by far the guy to beat. And these guys this year brought a lot to the table to close that gap, to catch him, and it's showing every week.
Well, we might need to hire Dylan as a commentator assistant, because I had no idea about that win streak being broken here tonight. Dylan, thanks for that great info. Congrats on the run, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, see you. Thank you, guys.
Dylan Hauser ends up 5th, but James Eden's just in the winner here tonight at Limaland Motorsports Park. He's now within 9 points of Alex Bergeron. We'll have to do some calculating and figure out where everybody else is at in comparison to him. But nonetheless, a fantastic race tonight. Only 1 caution in the last 2 races. These guys have really been putting on a good show for the fans.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, there's been some bumping and banging as to be expected with the tires, but the racing has been thrilling, to say the very least. It's opened up the door for fuel strategy. The drivers have hit upon it, and I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens when they go back to Lernerville and see what they may have learned from their experiences early on in the season, and if they can take what they learned and turn it into success once more and momentum for the second half of the season.
Absolutely. Well, next week, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard Justin Prince talk about it. We head back to Sarver, Pennsylvania, to the virtual Lernerville Speedway for the only track that we see twice in 2020. And we hope to see you there here on the iRacing Esports Network. Got to thank Justin Prince for being here, Jay Kennedy, and everyone behind the scenes here for this broadcast tonight. Want to thank all the fans as well for watching on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Until next Monday, we hope you all stay safe and enjoy yourselves. Have a good night.